we are in Alachua Hare Krishna temple serving Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, under His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This chapter is titled Prayers by Queen Kunti. So prayers by Queen Kunti, I think, begin from 12. Namaste to Adya. Yes, no. Namaste to Adya Purusha Para is the first. Sorry, 18. So text 18 actually began the Kunti Devi's prayers. Those are very emotional prayers. We should really take advantage of getting absorbed. Maybe you will awaken your love for Krishna. But before that, there is some spiritual emotion expressed by different great personalities like Maharaj Yudhishthira, like today's verse, and then Mother Uttara, like this. And end of this chapter will be again Yudhishthira Maharaj, which will promote to bring the audience of Bhishma Dev. So today's verse is 6. Jajayitta, by performing Ashwamedha Yajna, in which a horse is sacrificed. Tam, him, King Yudhishthira, three, Uttama, best, Kalpakai, supplied with proper ingredients and performed by able priest, thought that just fame, Pavanam, virtuous, Dikshu, all directions, Sata Mano Indra, who perform 100 such sacrifice. Everybody is familiar. You know how you become Indra? You have to do 100 Ashwamedha Yajna. Ashwamedha Yajna means all the ruler of this planet has to agree that you are their boss. Not boss, how do you say? Good leader. So it's not easy, it's very tough. Eva, like Atonat, spread. But in this sloka, this morning when I was told that I should give, I was reading, and one first thing came in my mind, the mentality of Yudhishthira Maharaj. He is a pure devotee, but we'll see sometime contradictory characteristics sometime. But thus Krishna uses them as the instrument. We should not underestimate their purity and devotion towards Krishna. So this verse, Jajayita Ashwamedestam, Jajayita Ashwamedestam, Jajayita Ashwamedestam, Trivid Uttama Kalpakai, Tadjasa Pavanam Dikshu, Satamanayor Ivatanat, Satamanayor Ivatanat, Jajayita Medestam, Namakalpakai, Riva Pavanam Dikshu, Samana Vivatana, Jajayita Medestam, Viviruttama Kalpakai, Ajasa Pavanam Dikshu, Yajaichamedestam Triviruttamakalpakai Ajasa Pavanam Vishu Amano Ivatano Yajaichamedestam Triviruttamakalpakai Eshapavanam Bhikshu Satamannur Ivatanu Ajaichamedastam Viviruttamakalpakai Satamannur Ivatanu Vyayidastamedastam Viviruttamakalpakai Satamannur Ivatanu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Lord Sri Krishna caused this well-performed Assameda Jagnas, horse sacrifice, to be conducted by Maharaj Yudhishthira and thus caused his virtuous fame to be glorified in all directions, like that of Indra, who had performed 100 such sacrifices. So here we see it's like a little comparison. It's interesting, Krishna is comparing, because his devotee Yudhishthira Maharaj, he did only 3. But Indra is also his devotee, but not as advanced. He did 100, but he did 3, but his position is higher, he's more famous than 100. It's very interesting. Why? Because bhakti. Whoever has more bhakti, we respect that person more. And this is what Krishna established, what I see here. Purport. This is something like the preface to the performance of Aswamed Yajna by Maharaj Yudhishthira. The comparison of Maharaj Yudhishthira to the King of Heaven is significant. The King of Heaven is thousands and thousands of times greater than Maharaj Yudhishthira in opulence. Yet, the fame of Maharaj Yudhishthira was not less. The reason is that Maharaj Yudhishthira was a pure devotee of the Lord, and by his grace only was by his grace only was King Yudhishthira on the level of the King of Heaven, even though he performed only 3 jagnas, whereas King of Heaven performed hundreds. Not 100, hundreds. Means few hundreds. That is the prerogative of the devotee of the Lord. The Lord is equal to everyone, but a devotee of the Lord is more glorified because he is always in touch with the All Great. Very nice. The sun rays are equally distributed, but still there are some places which are always dark. This is not due to the sun, but due to the receptive power. Similarly, those who are 100% devotees of the Lord get the full-fledged mercy of the Lord, which is always equally distributed everywhere. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Yenam Janasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namo. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sra Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitangstam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpataruvescha Kripa Sindhubhayevacha Padhitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sometime when we read these purports, looks like one purport is enough for whole life. We don't need the rest of the Bhagavatam because each purport is complete by itself. Srila Prabhupada, he began with sentence and the end also he give a very affectionate answer that it's not that the devotees are extremely special and Krishna only does good to them and he only takes care of them. No, Krishna is liberal to everyone. Samaham sarva bhuteshu na deshasti na me priya. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Samaham sarva bhuteshu, I am equal to all living beings. Na deshasti, I do not hate anyone or I favor anyone. But the second line, he says, but those who comes to me, but how do you come to Krishna? How do we go to Krishna? With bhakti. In order to approach Krishna, we need bhakti. Without bhakti, nobody can approach Krishna. They can come, you can come to the door of bhakti with your piety or some other influence, but you cannot really get favor or approach Krishna without bhakti. I asked Srila Prabhupada one time, one memory tape, that do you love your all disciple equal? Prabhupada didn't even think, he said yes, immediately. But then he put a pause, after a few minutes he says, but some of my disciples taking so much responsibility, it appears like they have so many questions and some clarification. So it appears like I'm favoring them more. It's a very nice answer, isn't it? But I'm equal to all my disciples. That was Prabhupada. So we can apply the same thing. Krishna is favoring to all the living entity. But those who take advantage, come and approach, they are called devotee. Just like if you have a mango tree and a deep, nice fresh water in a well on the road, in pilgrimage in India, they generally do some fruit trees and some well. Nowadays they have a water supply, but those days they used to I remember we went many places early days. And some people, they just so irritated, they just want to finish the tirtha. What is importance about the holy place is not important. They just want to brag about it, that they went to Badrinath, they went to Kedarnath, that's all. What is there, without sadhu sangha, this is only wasting time, Narottam Das Thakur says. Sakali Brahm. Because sadhu reveals what the significance of the holy dham. Krishna himself disclosed this in the Kurukshetra lecture. Krishna gave a beautiful lecture. And Prabhupada repeat that sloka. Sadhi kalatra dishu rishi bhoma ijjadi. So, those who are not stopping for mango or drinking water and they keep on walking, they will get tired and they'll eventually completely helpless. But is it the fault of the tree and the well? That's the question. That some people are not drinking water and not taking the fruit. Is it the fault of the tree? Somebody? Thank you. Because you all are intelligent, but I still have to hear. So Krishna is like this. Krishna is actually open to give anything and everything to anybody and everybody. But those who comes, they are called devotees. Those who are not coming, they are non-devotees. That's not a fault of Krishna. That's the fault of the person who didn't come. So this Yudhishthira Maharaj, he has a few little pastime. When he came as a Kalanidhi, he is one of the Pandu's son, Bhavananda Rai, with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can think also that Pandu had a 5 sons, just like Yudhishthira Maharaj, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva. Similarly, Pandu Prabhu or Pandu Maharaj, when he came as a Bhavananda Rai, his children were Kalanidhi, Sudhanidhi, Baninath, Gopinath and Ramananda Roy. Who is Ramananda Roy? Arjuna. So like this, all these 5 children came. And their mother, Kunti Devi, also came. There are a lot of stories about Ramananda Roy. And because of his brilliancy, the whole family got the title Roy. Their name was not Roy. But those days, if they are expert composer, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antolila 1, you will see the Vidagdha Madhav, Lalit Madhav, Ramananda Rai conversation with Rupa Goswami in front of Mahaprabhu. So sweet, those pastimes. And they are one of the purport, Prabhupada gives that how the Roy title came. It was given by the king because of his expertism to elaborate the beautiful pastime of Radha Krishna in a poetic form. So I'm going to give a little clue about Yudhishthira Maharaj's greatness. This purport, Prabhupada just glorifying Yudhishthira Maharaj. So we can see from different angle, in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, just before the war began, they had a big gathering of the wise men. You know, before, like we have a GVC, like leaders of the world, ISKCON. Similarly, they had the wise man group, and they immediately elected Bhishma Dev to chair the meeting. So Bhishma Dev said, let's do a demonstration. Let's call Duryodhan, let's call Yudhishthira, the leader of 2 sides, and see their mentality. So we can actually assume, just like if you tell me, where are you going to go if you die today? Or if you ask me, where am I going to go if I die today? Well, give me 10 friends. This is my way of thinking. Give me 10 best friends that associate with me, and I'll well, I cannot interview if I am doing it. So you can interview them, and you can actually exactly say where I am heading if I die today. Because the association, this selection in elimination, these 2 are the function in bhakti we do from the association. So it's very important. So Bhishmadev says, all right, but don't call them in the same time, they call them in a separately. So they call Yudhishthir Maharaj. I want you to travel on this chariot, it can fly very quick all over the world, and tell us how many devil, evil, demoniac mentality people in this world. I said, okay. He took the chariot and went around the world, and they called Duryodhan, the leader of the Kauravas, other side. He says, just the opposite. He said, I want you to travel the world. This committee wants you to travel the world very quick on this chariot and find how many saintly people in this world. Wise, nice people. So sure. And they went, somehow or other they didn't meet each other, and they came. So they reported, this is just a day before the war began, before Bhagavad Gita spoke. So Bhishmadev asked separately, individually, in front of the audience. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, tell us how many evil-minded demons. He said, I'm sorry to say that I didn't find anybody. I interviewed even. I don't know how he interviewed within a day or something. But time is under control of Krishna, sir. So he said, I could not find anybody bad. Everybody is good. You must have found one. He said, yes, that's me. See the mentality of a Mahabhagavat, like that. So, okay, they decided if he is going to win, then the world will be beautiful, religious, pious, everything will be perfect. Because Dronacharya, he is a pure devotee, Bhishmadev, they are pure devotee, Kripacharya, they are pure devotee. So they wanted to see before the war. So then they called Duryodhan. How many saintly people have you seen? Say, none. There is not even one. Why, at least one. Say, me. I am very saintly, I think. I am very religious. So, okay. So the war began, and Srila Prabhupada in 1.10.2, I made a little note here, Srila Prabhupada found, I made a long time back, I didn't have a time this morning just. He said the battle of Kurukshetra was fought according to the plan of the Lord. Because you wonder, like, who decided to go to Kurukshetra? Why not in Hastinapur? Where you are, you fight there. If you fight with your, whoever, generally you don't say, okay, tomorrow we are going to fight, let's meet there. You don't say that. You just start fighting, arguing, right? Generally, I didn't see it. So, Srila Prabhupada writes here, but then question is, who decided to go to Kurukshetra? That's very far. If you know the map from Hastinapur to Kurukshetra, it's very far. So Srila Prabhupada writes, undesirable person could get out of the world. So first point was, undesirable person could get out of the world. It's for the betterness of the world, Krishna decided. Second, a peaceful kingdom under his devotee could be established. The Lord was therefore fully satisfied when King Yudhishthira was on the throne, and the seedling of the dynasty of Kuru in the person of Maharaj Parikshit was saved. It's very interesting that demonstration Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur give this explanation of what is this battlefield. Now I am sure you all are familiar with the persona who joined. Interestingly, because in this episode, Yudhishthira Maharaj concluded, there is no value of the world without Krishna. And Duryodhan demonstrated there is no value of God without the world. And these two mentality till today exist. If you really go outside, you will see only these two mentalities. Of course, Yudhishthira mentality is not too much, but the other mentality, what value of God without the world? They always think the world is more important, more money I have. You can see like why Krishna ask that choice that I have a 9 lakhs Narayani Sena and other side is me, but I'm not going to fight. So materially, that's useless. Because if you're not going to fight, what value of God? I mean, what value of Krishna? That's how Duryodhana thought. Because immediately he grasped the 9 lakhs Narayani Sena. Why? Because he did not find the value of Krishna. But the devotee gives more value on Krishna. Even amongst the devotee there is a gradation. And I remember in Krishna book Prabhupada writes on that why the wives of Brahmana was more fortunate than their husband. This is what Bhagavatam depicts. Why? Because they knew the essence of Krishna consciousness. Essence of Krishna consciousness is not just to do the rituals. It's the satisfaction of Krishna. So they focus, Prabhupada writes that they focus, the ladies focus on Krishna Balaram and their husband focus on the ceremony. So they are hungry, they say, oh, it's not ready yet. Hey, Krishna is hungry, what's the purpose of doing all this jagga? So we can see that, we can learn every part of the Bhagavatam, that how it's relevant to our life. I'm doing service in the temple, what is my intention? I ask even myself, what is the purpose? Am I respecting all these devotees in the temple? Or am I like thinking, oh, he is good, she is bad, he is good. What am I thinking? Because bhakti is actually inner journey. The journey is within. You know, the machine, testing machine where? Not outside. Testing machine is within us. Isn't it? Srila Prabhupada even writes in Nectar of Devotion, that Yudhishthira Maharaj, the bhakti has a 6 characteristics in the first chapter of Nectar of Devotion. And second one, bhakti is sudurlabha, very rare. Why rare? One of the reasons given that it is rare because Krishna does not sanction. Krishna does not want to be subordinate to the love of that devotee. Krishna is not subordinate to a devotee. This is a misunderstanding. There is a key point. Krishna is not subordinate to devotee. Krishna is subordinate to the love of the devotee. It is Mother Jashoda's affection, that Palan, Poshan, Taran, Barshan, 4 quality that she has. It attracts Krishna such a way that he completely forgets that he is God. Omniscience disappears by the Vatsalya Ras. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained this. Sada Suddha Siddhakam Bhakata Vatsalanam Bhakata Janera Nitya Swami. Sada Suddha Siddhakam Bhakata Vatsalanam Bhakata Janera Nitya. That the love that devotee has actually bind Krishna. It was not the length of the rope. It was the Mother Jashoda's love. Ultimately, if you go the whole pastimes. So similarly, Yudhishthira Maharaj was given a very privilege. Prabhupada writes in Nectar of Devotion that it is sudurlabha because Krishna does not sanction. Even though it is within you. Where is bhava bhakti? Where is bhav? The ecstasy. It is within us. But it has to be ignite with 2 things, your endeavor and Krishna sanction. And Krishna does not sanction easily until he sees, he tests the intention of that devotee thoroughly. Just like yesterday we were talking with Mother Nanda, gave a very nice class, that the Krishna already has the result. You know, few verses, sometimes I cannot even forget, it just pops. You know, those verses are, because those are like a very, how do you say, relevant to our day-to-day life. Krishna already told, if you think of that verse, you know, sometimes you can see the scenery even. Why I'm saying this? Because I think sometimes, who is the first person listen Bhagavad Gita? Who is the first person listen Bhagavad Gita? Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was the first listener of Bhagavad Gita. A Krishna and Arjuna dialogue. is the Bhagavad Gita. It was not a Krishna. Arjuna was listening Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna was not listening. Arjuna was participating in the dialogue. But who is the listener? Sanjay and Dhritarashtra. But one became pure devotee, one did not become devotee. Why? You think like, wow, can you imagine? I'm the first listener of Bhagavad Gita, fresh, but I didn't become devotee. It bothered me for days and days, and I was trying to find the different commentary. Why Dhritarashtra did not? So it was very nice. We can feel it. It's actually the journey of bhakti is not only up to Krishna. Krishna already gave the result what Pran Govinda Das is going to be in future. It's already done. Nothing I need to do. But my endeavor will reveal that. So it is up to our own attitude, service attitude, our own intention. It's waiting for that to manifest. Actually, nobody to be blamed in the entire creation for my own problem. Until we accept that, we cannot progress. This is the first step. Jato Shraddha Matkata Asu Nirvinna Sarva Karmasu Veda Dukkha Atmakan Kaman Paritege Apinishara. Those verses giving the definition of sadhan bhakti. What we supposed to do? First thing is finding, even in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna's first very important verse, Karpanna Dosa Apahata Savhava. Karpanna Dosa. The Arjuna was finding fault in him. Dosa. I have a Karpanna Dosa. If we do not have this finding fault within us, we cannot make the surrender. When surrender came, next line, that I am going to accept you as my instructor, Arjuna is saying. But he first found the fault, not artificially, genuinely, and he gave a reason what are the defects in him. You can see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had a nice dialogue. But what was the turning point from Mahaprabhu becoming the merciful Lord and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became the best devotee? What was the turning point? Atmaninda kori koilo, loilo Prabhur Sharan, Prabhu tare Sarabhu Darshan, Atmaninda kori koilo loilo Prabhur Sharan, Prabhu tare kipa koribare hoilo mon. That moment he saw Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya started criticizing. I am so proud. I think I could figure it out who is this sannyasi. He gave 18 explanations without touching my 9. It is impossible for any human being or any demigod or anybody in the entire creation could do. It must be absolute truth. But I am so proud. And he started crying. Why this false pride? And he started crying. It attracted Mahaprabhu's heart right then and there in the scenery. And Mahaprabhu gave him darshan. From that moment, he became a pure devotee. Prabhupada writes in a letter to Jodhurani, I remember, he says, this was his last birth for Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sounds exciting, no? It's for us too. We should be experiencing like this. Hope soon. So in Yudhishthira Maharaj's case, because of the time, because Yudhishthira Maharaj's case, we see the similar pattern that what he had to face. So the battlefield is compared as a river. Can you imagine a metaphor? A river, battlefield. And of which one bank, river has a two-side banks, the shore. One side is Bhishmadev, another side is Dronacharya. And Jayadratha is the water. It's scary, such a scary. The sons of Gandhari are the blue lotus flower. And Shalla is the crocodile. And Kripa is the current, Kripacharya. And Karna is the ever-changing, rising and ebbing tide. Aswathama, Bikarna, they are big, fearful sharks. You know sharks? And Duryodhan is the whirlpool. And what is Pandava and Krishna is doing? Krishna is the boatman and Pandava is in the boat, and they are trying to go cross this river which is filled with sharks, crocodiles, and the scenery is like a very fearful, what Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur made it. It was very nice. But Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 18:58, Matchitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi. Achateta ahankarat na susrasi vinakshasi. Krishna did not promise that when you become devotee, there won't be any struggle. Krishna did not say. You can show me. I was searching actually. I'm still researching. Krishna did not say you become devotee, there won't be any challenge. He did not say. But he said, Matchitta sarva durgani. He said, I promise you unsinkable ship. You will be inside the ship and the ship will not sink. But you have to hold on to the ship and you will cross the ocean. That I guarantee. You follow? So in the ship you will have a turmoil. You know, the water will come from Maya, the influence will come, agitation will come, influence will come. We may not jump off the ship, but Krishna is promising, Mat chitta sarva durgani, mat prasadat torishasi. You will cross over by my mercy. But he did not say there won't be struggle. It gave me such a satisfaction. Okay, so I went through struggle still may come. And Prabhupada went through also many struggle in his life and he demonstrated. What the most surprising, that Krishna's compassion, that he will protect you so long you stay in the boat, inside the ship. So long we are staying in our sadhan bhakti, Krishna will protect and he will take us to the end. And I give you one beautiful pastime of Yudhishthira Maharaj, because today his glorification, Prabhupada made a beautiful purport. There is a beautiful verse. When I was in Mayapur, I used to hear this lecture, exactly same lecture, for days after days, after year. I don't know why, but those days I didn't control the mic sound system. And I remember Prabhupada vividly saying the same thing. Yudhishthira Maharaj had to see hell because he did not agree to speak what Krishna wanted us to speak. So if you know little Sanskrit, you can, I don't know much Sanskrit, but it's enough. He said, Mat nimittam kritam papam. Mat nimittam kritam papam api dharmaya kalpate. What is Krishna consciousness? For the pleasure of Krishna, mat nimittam, for my pleasure, Krishna says, kritam papam, even if you do something immoral, impious, apparently bad activity you can say, it is dharma. It is the highest form of action that please me will please everybody. But if you don't do, mam anadrita dharmapi, and if you don't have a love for me, you don't want to please me, even if you do the highest dharma, religion, mam anadrita dharmapi papashet mat prabhavata, it will turn into sinful. That's scary. You know, we don't preach to the public like this. But this is what Krishna's ultimate, boldly declaration. You know, I remember Dr. Patel, I remember I was talking to Nagaraj Prabhu many years back, the Dr. Patel and Prabhupada dialogue, and Prabhupada says, we want to be pure Krishna conscious. Whatever Krishna wants, we'll do it. Then Dr. Patel give a little steam. What about eating meat? Prabhupada said, if Krishna wants us to eat meat, we'll eat meat. No, we cannot do this, Dr. Patel said. Veda says no. And Prabhupada said, you don't understand Krishna, you don't understand Krishna consciousness. That's it. So whatever pleases Krishna, we have to be ready to sacrifice. And Krishna says, Tato bhajeto mama prita drila shraddalu nischaya Even you fail, your mind is disturbed, don't give up. Tato bhajeto means you keep on going. Mama prito, try to please me, keep on going. I know you're going through struggle. You think, sometimes I used to think, in this whole world, nobody understands what trouble I'm going through. And then later on I found out, this is, every soul thinks the same thing. Then I'm thinking like, what value is that? I think I was the only one, what I'm going through, nobody understands. My wife, my children, nobody. But then Krishna said in these words, every soul will go through this. I said, okay, forget it. Thank you, Krishna, for revealing my heart. It's true, Krishna knows. We sometimes doubt, Krishna knows our suffering or he just hear our suffering. He explain our suffering. Does he feel experience? Yes. Just like your eyes may be closed, example given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, long time back I read. If there is a rose garden blowing the rose smell, and you don't need to see the rose or the garden, just by smelling you can conclude. Like a skunk in Alachua we see. If the skunk is going, I never see the skunk, but I can smell it. That was enough. We close the window and just don't want to smell. So similarly, Krishna knows. Krishna feels what we are going through, and Krishna will not make it easy until we are sacrificing ourselves. So this is my conclusion. Like Yudhishthira Maharaj, he did not, Krishna is using him in a sense because he is a pure devotee. We should not misunderstand that, he did not lie. Because Krishna told him, Aswattama hata iti gaja. Aswattama hata, go and tell. Because Dronacharya will die instantly if he hears his son is dead. He is so affectionate to his son. He cannot live. And it happened when Yudhishthira Maharaj said, Aswattama hata. But he did not agree with Krishna to say that his son died, because his son is still alive. He see it. He said, I cannot say this. I'm asking also yourself, would you be able to do that? If Krishna asks you to tell lie in the middle of this biggest episode, that you will kill that person if you tell him that. That Dronacharya, guru of everybody, will die instantly. And you're going to tell that lie, but that will please Krishna. Will you do that? It's easy to say, I'll do it, but will you really? Yudhishthira Maharaj was giving a moral explanation. Sometimes Hindus, they think Yudhishthira Maharaj's chariot went down as soon as he said this because he lied. And we say, no, he went down because he disobeyed Krishna. It's a vast opposite understanding. So Prabhupada made this, I found in Vedabase like 6-7 times he repeated the same thing. How Krishna consciousness is misunderstood, misrepresented by Yudhishthira Maharaj by that. But it was not Yudhishthira Maharaj's fault. Krishna was using him, like Krishna was using Arjuna to demonstrate, put him into illusion. So similarly, to demonstrate this. So when finally Yudhishthira Maharaj said, Aswattama hata. He was going to say iti gaja, why Bhima, he just killed an elephant named also Aswattama. So he is going to say, okay, Aswattama is dead by the name of elephant. So by the time he was going to say by iti gaja, by the name of elephant, Krishna blow the conch shell. Now what kind of God is that? Because the lie did not act properly, he is making the lie by covering the another. Make it more lie. But that's Krishna. He knows the ultimate benefit, what will do to all those people in that assembly. Because of his compassion and love, he did not want them even a moment to stay. He wanted Dronacharya to go back spiritual world. He suffered enough. So he wanted to make it instantly like this. Bhishmadev. All the 640 million, Prabhupada writes, joined in that battlefield. I'll end with this. They had a 3 destination. See if it is relevant to you. One went to Golok Vrindavan, some went to Vaikuntha, some went to merging in the Brahman. Do you know why there is a three destination? Krishna did not decide. It was decided by individual. We can learn from that. This is in 3rd Canto, 2nd chapter, verse 6, 7, purport like this. 1st Canto, 9th chapter, 37, 38, in the purport you will see Prabhupada also write this. That those who did not appreciate Krishna, you know what is blocking between you and spiritual, your Swarup? Is the subtle body. You understand? What is the difference between you, Mother Madhumati as a female form here, and spiritual form? What is blocking? What is blocking that you cannot see your Swarup? Is the subtle body. Subtle body get dissolved by the Sudarshan Chakra. How merciful Krishna is. You know how merciful. Barbarik said this. Barbarik, the grandson of Bhima, he said, I did not see anybody killed anybody. How can you say that? Who killed them? He said, it was Sudarshan Chakra. It was going so quick. And everywhere it goes, I see the dead. All these 640 million. Can you imagine to see 20 million die in front of your eyes during the daytime? I mean, that's a heavy job. Barbarik was on the top of the Arjuna's chariot, above the Hanuman's flag, and he was watching every single person died. He said, I saw only Sudarshan Chakra killed. So Sudarshan Chakra dissolves our subtle body. When Sudarshan Chakra dissolves subtle body, what else is left? You, the soul. But still, you are not in spiritual world. This is a very nice pastime of this chapter. So Prabhupada writes, those who saw Krishna, that time they could see Krishna as a supreme God, but they don't have a habit of glorifying him. Haribol, online, please listen to this. When you don't have a subtle body, you have a soul body, doesn't mean you know Krishna. You have to practice to glorify and chant. So Prabhupada writes that those who glorified him, fell in love, they went to Golok. Those who only glorify went to Vaikuntha. Those who don't do anything, they saw Krishna, they saw face to face. They merged. So who decides where you are going? It's up to you. Start glorifying Krishna, because Krishna is unlimited. His quality is so endearing, so enchanting, it will attract you without doubt. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sorry, I ran out of time. Sure. Can you have the microphone? So other can hear. Otherwise they will just call me.
You can just repeat it.
Okay.
You mentioned that just right now at the end that if you glorify Krishna, you go to Vaikuntha, but if you glorify and fall in love, you go to Goloka. So how do you fall in love?
How do you fall in love? That's what Nectar of Devotion teaches. You cannot fall in love by reading a biodata of someone. I don't think anybody fall in love by reading a biodata. Otherwise you have intention. You know, like what is this called? Basra Haran Leela? In the beginning, if the commentary, I remember, it was a good logic question. He said, okay, they want to marry Krishna. All these girls, billions girls. Why don't just give them the mantra of Krishna? Then done. He said, no. The Binda Devi did not give this mantra. Nanda Gopa it was beautiful, the verse explains this. That the purposely Jogamaya gave the mantra of Banadevi. Banadevi means Vrinda Devi, but she has a different form in the forest. She lives in the forest in Vrindavan. So they said you should do meditation to Banadevi and worship Banadevi. Why? Because if they worship Krishna, you want to get Krishna, why not worship Krishna? Logic, you know. They said, no, if they worship Krishna, then the Krishna's opulence will come. First installment of Krishna conception is opulence. The surrender will never come. We remember, we discussed this, that God is both great and sweet. By knowing the greatness of God, it evokes our submission. So we surrender. If we don't understand Krishna's opulence, Vaikuntha Vritti, majestic aspect, surrender will not, oh, Krishna is in the heart of everyone, he is everywhere, we don't need to worry, Krishna will protect us because he is in atoms, he is in the heart. We feel good. Isn't it? Like we feel good, Krishna is always there with me, Krishna is everywhere, we don't have to worry. So opulence is good. But opulence is not good if you want to marry a person by knowing that he is rich. Oh, that's not a really good quality, they say. So they say they have to be in love with Krishna, so she did not introduce to worship Krishna, they introduced to worship Yogamaya. Yogamaya, the pleasure potency will come, and pleasure potency, then Sambit potency will fall in love, increase their love to love Krishna. That was the one good logic gave. I was very moved by that. I said, wow, very nice. And Nectar Devotion, please read Nectar Devotion. Not because I'm doing the classes, and I'm fascinated, believe or not. All these students, like 64 student, Gorachand is one of them too, but from Alachua 2-3, but mostly from New Orleans, New York, Atlanta. But so interesting, they are all into it. Nectar of Devotion is a one book, Prabhupada says. Without this book, nobody can understand what Krishna consciousness is. That was enough. Just that comment of Prabhupada. Yeah, thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'm just going to read this.